So my little sister was in India recently with her boyfriend for a wedding. She was sending me all these beautiful photos of the food that she was eating, and it made me remember one of my favorite things, which is a bhaji. Basically, it's a fritter. So that's the recipe that I've got for you today. We've got a lovely little spicy, herby mango chutney to go with it. So first up, we've got some chickpea flour or basin flour. I've got some rice flour as well. That also goes into the bowl. The rice flour kind of gives the fritter or bhaji that kind of crispy texture. We've got some ground coriander, a little bit of ground cumin, some chili flakes for a little bit of a kick, and a little bit of turmeric, anti-inflam. We're gonna add a pinch of salt into there. That's basically all your dry ingredients. So I'm just gonna give that a quick mix, all really well combined. And as you can see, I do everything with chopsticks. That's looking really good and really well combined. Next up, some coriander goes in. Just some leaves, roughly chopped. Give that a little mix. A little bit of lemon juice. And then a slow pour of some warm water until the flour and all the spices become kind of like a gluggy, battery consistency. You do want it to be a little bit pasty still, just because there is moisture in the onions and the zucchinis. Once you put them in, it could get quite loose. So that there is kind of the consistency that you're after. Now that that's done, I'm just gonna pop some onion into it. I'm gonna grate some zucchini. So I've just got a box grater here. So you want it to be kind of still pretty thick, so I'm using the biggest holes. So that goes into the batter as well. We're gonna give that a really nice mix. Make sure that it's all really well coated. As you can see, the mixture is still quite thick. This is exactly what I want. The batter is supposed to be quite dry. The mixture's just supposed to just sit in there and kind of fry away, just like a Japanese pancake would. Oh, it smells so yum. It's the smell of chickpea that I'm really getting from it right now, and it's just so delicious. I'm just gonna test my oil to see if it's hot enough. So I've showed you this a couple of times, but to test oil, usually I just stick chopsticks into it, and if it bubbles, it's hot enough. So what we want is basically a heaped teaspoon of the batter with all the onions and the beautiful zucchinis in it. That just goes straight in. Because the onions are cut quite thick, the batter just holds it in place. So when you're dropping it in, you need to make sure that you're kind of squashing it down as well so it doesn't fall apart. So I'm gonna just do 3 of these guys into there, then take them off and put them into a paper towel, and then do the rest of them. So while my second batch is cooking away, I'm gonna get started on my mango chutney. So basically what you want is some mango, straight into a little food processor. You can use fresh if you've got it, but if you don't, I've got frozen today and it's still basically gonna do a really similar job. We've got some herbs here, some coriander and some mint. It's gonna save just a couple of leaves just to dust on top after. The smell from this is already so fresh. We've got a green chili, which I'm basically just gonna roughly chop up. Half will do, seeds and all. I like it hot, but if you don't, then feel free to get rid of the seeds and the membrane, because that's where all the heat comes from. We've got a little piece of ginger here. This is young ginger. It's really, really fresh, really, really tender. So a spoon is enough to get rid of the skin. You don't actually have to cut it with a knife. Oh, it's smelling so sweet. I love the smell of ginger. A little bit of a kick, little heat behind it, but when it's this young, it's actually quite sweet. All right, so I'm gonna probably just use half of this guy. We don't need the whole thing. It's quite a large piece, delicious. All right, it's all peeled now. Gonna just give him a nice little chop, really rough. That's going straight into the blender. Lemon, I'm just gonna zest this little guy just straight into the food processor, just for a little bit of lift. I can feel that this lemon's quite juicy as well, so I actually don't think that I'm gonna need the whole lemon. I'm probably just gonna use half. Give this guy a nice chop. And then the juice. So if you make a little kind of strainer with your hand, they'll be able to catch all of those seeds. We've got a little bit of cumin powder here. That's just gonna go in. Just about half a teaspoon, not even. Quick chop. I think these are ready to come out now. So, yep, beautiful. All right, let's have a look at him. That smells amazing. You can kind of get that hint of chili come through now. Time to serve. So chutney can come off. Blade comes out. Straight into a little bowl. Beautiful. There's a little bit of heat behind this, so remember, if you don't like the heat, take some of the chili out. That goes on there. These little guys can just sit peacefully around here with their crunchiness. A little bit of dusting of this coriander, just to add a little bit of color to the dish. So that here is my onion and zucchini bhaji with a side of mango chutney.